The former mill town of Oldham attracted mass migration from South Asia in the 50s and 60s. But a generation on, barriers are still to be broken down, which even residents admit means parts of the town are virtually segregated. And many prefer it that way, but insist it's not racist to hold that belief.
Like, white people like living their own way, and then obviously Asian people have got their own religions, their own way of looking at things, and that's a choice. That's, at the end of the day, they're British as I am as well.
But you'd quite like this to stay as a mostly white area?
I'll just say that about sounding racist, yeah, but yeah. Do you know, yeah, truthfully, I'm honest, yeah.
This is St Mary's, an area where black and white residents appear to live happily side by side, including 83-year-old Terry Keneally, who raises the flag of St George in his front garden. It is, he says, a symbol of pride in England and one of many in a street he doesn't want to share with Asian families. If a lot of Asian people moved into this street, how would you feel about that?
I want to move out.
Why would that upset you, to live next door to an Asian person?
Can you smell it just now? No, the Asian food and that. They don't.
The smell of the Asian food?
Yeah, the smell of the Asian food, things like that.
It's just a few minutes' drive to the predominantly Asian area of Glodwick in Oldham.
It is a big issue. There is a certain element of the community that do think we still have got segregation in Oldham, which I believe personally is one of the most segregated towns in the country.
Shopkeeper Ratif Hussain and travel agent Parvez Nazir are neighbours. They say some residents rarely leave the community. People are segregated, aren't they?
By choice. You know, they've got a choice of where they want to live.
And they want to live in segregated communities?
Yeah, they want to live in segregated
why is
communities.
That?
To be honest with you, it's a lot of people around here feel safer together.
If I was to move around here, you're very friendly, just offered me a cup of tea. But, you know, there's a mosque, there's a Asian food shop, an Islamic shop, the clothes there, not the kind of clothes I want to wear. There's nothing for me here, is there?
There's a church at the top of the road.
I'm not religious, really.
You're not religious? No, there's a church up the road.
Do you see what I mean?
I know what you mean, but it's demand.
People like Aziza Begum, who came from Bangladesh 20 years ago, have never really needed to learn English. Does your mum speak English?
No.
So how do you think your mum can integrate in the community if she doesn't speak English?
She's son and daughter help.
In Glodwick, people easily recall the race riots of 2001. Time has buried those tensions, though this group of young Asian men admit that different communities can still be wary of each other. Why do you think white people don't come to live here or have moved away?
Because I think they're scared. That's what I think. But they're not meant to be scared because we're not racist around here, you get me? So, yeah.
What do you think they're scared of?
I think they're scared that they might get attacked around here. You get me? And, yeah.
And would they get attacked around here?
They wouldn't if they don't mess about. But if they mess about, then they would get kicked.
Can anybody tell me that word compassion there, what's special about the way it's written there?
At Waterhead Academy, they're not looking back, but forward. This local school is pretty unique, and we were given rare access to see how they are actively trying to build relationships between communities like St Mary's and Glodwick. The academy came about after a school of nearly all white pupils was deliberately merged with a predominantly Asian one.
Part and parcel of our job is not just to educate the child, but as subtly as we can, get those messages to go home. We want children to challenge, we want children to be independent and think and challenge any stereotypes they come across, because that is what we want to provide here as an education for the young people of Oldham. We want this new generation of students coming through that are going to challenge those perceptions and set a new standard in their communities.
Some of the older pupils went to Waterhead's predecessor schools.
Back then, we just only understood our way of life and what we believed in. But as we've integrated in this school, you kind of learn how other people see the world.
But the progressive multicultural atmosphere of the school can jar with some of the pupils' home lives. 14-year-old Sana Rangzeeb goes to Waterhead Academy and lives in Glodwick. She is the niece of travel agent Parviz Nazir.
We just hardly see any white people like at home, but in school it's like different religions, different like people speaking differently. It's just like that.
Her mother Tyra came to the UK 22 years ago from Pakistan.
Do you have any white friends?
As we film, Tyra's husband arrives. Uncomfortable with our questions, he wants the interview to stop.
He's Muslim.
And tells Tyra to get up and go.
He's Muslim.
I don't think segregation is a problem. I think the issue is when we haven't got opportunities for people to socially interact. That's where the problem lies, because we've got no activity that brings them together. It's going to take us probably another 15 or 20 years for another generation to really branch out from their traditional areas to move into new areas where people can live side by side next to each other.
Residents say segregation doesn't make where they live no-go areas. Though many are in a comfort zone, they will never leave. Lisa Holland, Sky News, Oldham.